Um, agent.
Yeah. You ain't going nowhere, bitch. You don't fuck up. I'm pushing up on them. Go with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, roly poly there. And the
Mm.
NPCs is beaming from there.
Mm.
It's the boss
That's
too.
why. That's why I put on. I'm about to put on my mortar
Oh,
turn.
go.
Low armor.
Yeah.
Yo. In today's video, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. This is a shiny monkey hybrid build, and honestly, this build is kind of similar to another version of a hybrid build that I've already uploaded, but people said to try the shiny monkey out, tell me what I think, and all of that good stuff. So I will dive into the build in a second, but I kind of want to break down a few things for a few people, and it's only because people have been asking me these questions in my comments. Um, I will obviously get into it when I do the build guide. If you don't want to listen to me talk right now, you know what I'm saying, you can just skip forward to that part. But basically, a lot of people had questions in terms of like the attribute roles and stuff like that. And then obviously when they make the build, like they still running into problems in terms of like you run into PvP and you're trying to fight players. And when you're fighting these players, you know, with striker or like meta builds and stuff like that, like you're gonna get melted, right? So I would say first thing is you gotta change your mindset. If you use, you know, like striker and meta builds and stuff like that, if you decide to use a hybrid build, you gotta take that mentality out of your head that like, oh, I'm about to just walk into the fight and just straight one clip this guy or shred everybody. Is it possible? Yeah, but don't like anticipate that. Don't play that way, thinking that you know you're just gonna automatically melt the person, right? Now, when it comes to the attributes on the gear set or the pieces that I use and stuff like that, except for Ninja Bite, because Ninja Bite I cannot put the attribute roles on there, but let's say for the mask, gloves, chest piece, holster, and knee pads, I'm looking for repair skills and crit chance. And the reason why is because I usually use Obliterate, which with Obliterate, if you stack it over time, you do more damage, and the max stack is 20, I believe. So with that, I need people to understand that essentially going into the fight, you're going to be weak. Like, as you can see, you know, starting off, my Obliterate talent isn't up right now, right? So I'm not going to do that much damage, but right here, I'm gonna work, get my stacks up. And obviously these are NPCs, you know, I could go into the DZ or start up a more difficult mission or whatever, and, you know, you could really see it, have me explain it to you better, but essentially, you know, Obliterate is what you're looking to use to make yourself stronger. But if you don't have the Obliterate built up, you will never really see the true power from the build. So that's where picking your shots comes into play. Like I've been saying it before, but like I'm, you know, really emphasize that you got to pick your shots. You can't just run into a fight and just ADS the whole time and expect to kill that person because 9 times out of 10, you're fighting somebody that has way more crit chance and crit damage than you. And they have gear pieces, you know, tailored towards crit chance and crit damage, so they're automatically just going to do more damage. So you're at a disadvantage by using this. I'm not going to lie. That's why this build, you don't see a lot of people using it because it's hard to use it. It's not a build that you can just easily just pick up and, oh, I'm going to just rock a hybrid and, you know, start going crazy with it. You'll have your moments, but essentially, like, you're not going to be really getting no crazy gameplay and you know going manhunt and stuff like that. I've been running with these builds for years, and there was a point in time where these builds honestly couldn't exist. Like you just had to be a straight future initiative healer. You couldn't, you know, actually shoot at people and do damage and stuff like that unless you had like St. Elmo's. When St. Elmo's came into the game, that's when hybrids really kind of, started making a little bit of a comeback in terms of like you can actually use it in PvP against sweats, I may say as well too, because you can go against an average player and you'll probably kill him, but going against a sweat, it's a different story because they're not going to just allow you to just run around and just heal the whole time. Like they're going to take that away from you. So you got to understand how that plays out in the gunfight. You definitely got to have a lot of fight IQ, map awareness, and really be able to assess your situation based off of, how much damage you take initially, how much damage you're doing initially, because a lot of these players are using exploits. I I'm I've made my point before, and if you really want to test it, if you really want to know, if you got on a hybrid build, um, I said this in a previous video, but I'll break it down again. With the Obliterate talent, every time you crit, it should go up, right? So I shoot this NPC, boom, like all those crits that you see that I start to get, now I'm already at max. That's how Obliterate should build, right? Now, if I'm shooting at somebody and I know I have max crit chance, or it's like 57%, right? And I see at least like 10 golds pop up in a row, and Obliterate doesn't pop up. I'm using MP7 with 41 in the mag, right? If let's say I shoot half of the clip and I land half of the clip, and at least 10 of the bullets are all gold, right? That's a crit. So when that gold pops up, your Obliterate should build. If you're shooting somebody and you're critting and Obliterate is not building, they are not synced with the server. 9 times out of 10, they are lagging or lag switching. They are stressing their router. They're desyncing themselves from the server. So do not get discouraged using these type of builds, because the first thing that a sweat will do if he's losing to a hybrid build is lag switch, desync the server, you know, anything to give him that advantage and make him feel good about himself or herself, whatever the case may be, itself. Now, we're going to jump into this build guide. And like I said before, I don't get me wrong, I like Shiny Monkey. I'm glad that they added more, hybrid type gear sets to the game. But I personally don't feel like it may be the absolute strongest with this combination. Now, I will say there are other combinations that I have been tweaking and messing with. You will see those soon. But as of right now, the only version that I really seem to, have a fighting chance in the DZ is this version. Now, I do have a different pair of knee pads. So technically you're getting not necessarily two versions, but just like a different version, right? If I go to this pair of knee pads that I have, instead of it being a blue, as you can see, repair skills crit chance already on the piece has a yellow. So with that, it drops me down to 1.4, but I have 6 skill tiers. So it just kind of depends on how you want to play it. But two piece with Ninja Bike obviously is going to give you a third skill tier. The two piece for the Brazos is going to give you one skill tier. Now, I will say this. I do say repair skills and crit chance. I know you see headshot damage, so you're like, how you gonna tell me to put on repair skills and crit chance and you got headshot damage? Look, I'm gonna show you why. I've been trying to farm for the perfect piece. As you can see right here, I got repair skills, crit chance, but I don't have obliterate. With this chest piece, I have crit chance. Obviously, I don't have repair skills because it's got status effects and obliterate. So ideally, the chest piece that I'm looking for is repair skills and crit chance, but this one just so happens to come with headshot damage, so I just was like, all right, screw it, I'll take it because I do use the bighorn, so it kind of helps it out a little bit. But I know people keep asking me about the headshot versions to these builds. The version where it hits for 150k, that's not headshot damage, bro. That's repair skills and crit chance. The bighorn is going to build up headshot damage over time anyway, so you can spec into it. I do have a different version where I'm spec into that, but at the end of the day, repair skills, crit chance. You can slap on repair skills, crit damage as well, but you need to make sure that you have enough crit chance to do that. Okay, so boom, I clicked over by accident. So as you can see, repair skills, crit chance, and on all the mods, I have incoming repairs. That is my lowest roll one that I have. I'm looking, trying to get like a 20% one, but I'm just stuck at 18 for right now. Obviously, with the Ninja Bike, it comes with its core attributes already on it. Can't really roll anything on it, but I do have the incoming repair mod on the book bag, on the chest piece. Same thing, you already saw it, but as you can, again, the mod is 20% incoming repairs, and I wish I had crit chance instead of headshot damage. The shiny monkey with the gloves, repair skills, crit chance. PS, same thing, repair skills, crit chance. And this is where I said that, you can do the repair skills and crit damage, but you got to make sure that you already have enough crit chance to do that. And with how Obliterate works, like I said, I'm not sitting at 60, I'm sitting at 58% crit chance. So that is still extremely high. So my Obliterate should build pretty quickly, like how you saw when, I was shooting at the NPCs. But again, these NPCs aren't going to lax with you. They're not going to desync the server either. So just keep that in mind. It's good to use this for PvE. It's great to use in PvE, but I would definitely say in PvP, it is a different scenario simply because a lot of people are cheating. So yeah, 58% crit chance, that is going to help you build up your obliterate. But what am I missing here? On the chem launcher, people are asking about the mods. I usually just put +1 ammo and 5.7% heal. Obviously, I want that to be a little bit higher. I'm trying to get those mods as well too. And for the hive, I go healing, repair charges, and duration. So starting off, obviously 5 skill tiers, I have like 32 charges off rip. And with the chem launcher, I'll have 8. Now, if I switch over to the pistol, the card pistol, that will make me go up to 6 skill tiers. Then I'll have 36 charges on the hive, and then I'll be able to have 9 chem launchers. But you cannot pull out the chem launcher while you have the pistol in your hands, or it's going to reset it. So, but that's if you really, really want to just have 9 charges to start off the fight. But really, in reality, you're going to have 8. Um, but other than that, man, like I said, I definitely feel like this build is definitely viable. I'm not going to knock it in that sense, but I would definitely recommend if you use this to use repair skills and crit chance with all of your rolls. If you do anything else, I mean that is on you, but if you die too fast and or you're not doing enough damage, however your situation may play out, just keep in mind what I said in this video. Don't get discouraged. I know a lot of people see the gameplay and like that's what really makes them want to see the build and like, try it out because at the end of the day, it's a refreshing thing to the game and it's been around since Div 1. A lot of people that play Div 2 did not play Div 1, so they don't understand like the nostalgia of running around and just like fighting a bunch of people and not dying and making it extremely hard for them to kill you, you know, healing back up. A lot of people for some reason have this misconception that, I don't have gun skill for not being able to just not run around and rely on heals to keep me alive. But that's the point of the build, and in this game you're going to take damage regardless, so why not make yourself, I don't know how to put it in like some fancy term for you, but at the end of the day, like, you're just giving yourself survivability. You're giving yourself more of a chance to stay alive in the fight. And to some people that makes me suck, but at the end of the day, when you line up these meta builds against these hybrid builds that I've created and I've put out recently, a lot of people that are meta players don't even want to fight against it simply because of the fact that they know that they can't beat the hybrid build unless they lag switch or they desync the server. that's the only way they're going to do it. Yeah, I'll lose, but then if we sit there and really go back and forth, max expertise, 28, everything, and you see this build isn't even max expertise, bro. These kids still get folded. So I really need you to keep that in mind. But I really hope that for the people that have been asking for this version, this is, something that you get to try out and actually enjoy. But I would definitely, tell you to stick more to the PvE side with it. But, you decide to step into the dark zone, just keep in mind, you know, what comes with it. But other than that, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Peace.